How's it going, everyone? It feels really good to be back. You guys are my outlet for a lot of stuff. I mean, I've had 9 books so far, 500 videos. It's going to be a 10th book, technically ninth in the series. I'm going to start writing very soon. This channel has grown. You guys have been with me through a lot. One of the people that I have met through this channel, Matt Welsh, we're going to do something a little bit different today. It's not going to really be some crazy esoteric. Now, I have that stuff for tomorrow. I have a couple of videos that I'm going to make for stuff that you guys don't know about. But wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, this guy Matt reached out to me. If you've seen on social media, him and his woman came to Long Island after his recording studio session, and I bought them dinner. They bought my book series. We hung out, we talked, we had a good time. We had coffee afterwards. I don't drink coffee, but they had coffee afterwards. And he's a musician. He played for me his single, which he recorded in 432 hertz. Remember my video, guys, about 432 hertz versus 440 hertz? All his music's in 432. So I invited him on my channel to give you guys a little bit of a break from exercising your brain and just appreciating music how it should be played in 432. Good music. And I'm going to bring him on. If he comes on, if he's still here. Hey, mister.
Hey, hey.
Hey. What's up, Rockstar? Yeah, I had Nikki Wicks, who was on, I think America's Got Talent. He was on like one of those talent shows. And he sung Sitting on the Dock by the Bay by Otis Redding. Phenomenal job. But I haven't had any musicians on. And honestly, I wanted to have you on. There's another guy that I want to have on too. He's one of my friends that I grew up with. His name is Jake. He's actually in my book series. But I wanted to have someone on to just basically just kind of lighten the mood, you know, just play some music so people could just kind of plug in their AirPods, maybe have an edible or something, just relax. And that's basically it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to do? Are you going to do your latest EP? Do you want to just give us a little, I told you off camera, I said, just treat this as like Stone Temple Pilots or Nirvana Unplugged, basically. You know, just give us a little bit of knowledge on the stuff, play the song. We'll have some questions after. And then, yeah, that's it. So what are we going to do today?
Yeah, it's all original music. The band name is Be Love and Be You. It's a 7-letter acronym for the 7 chakras. And it's New Age rock. And you know better than anyone else that we're in the age of Aquarius.
Right.
So by New
Well,
Age,
we're technically in a transitionary period. You know how, Matt, you know how in my work I tell you that each sign is 30 days, right? And then the last 3 days of a sign and the first 3 days of the next sign, that 6-day period is known as a cusp. Well, it's 6 days over. So 2 signs, 60 days, but the 6-day period is a cusp. So it's 1/10, right? Well, each zodiac sign in the precession, it's a slippage, so it goes backwards, is 2,160 years. So you apply the same mathematical formula, you divide it by 10, and you end up getting 216 years. That is the cusp that we're in. We're in a transitory period. When we're officially in the age of Aquarius, 100%, on March 21st, the spring equinox, you can go to the equator and watch the sunrise. And the sign behind the sun will tell you what sign we're in. As of right now, one of my colleagues, Rex Bear, physically did this. And it shows that we're still technically in Pisces, but we're in the transitory phase, which is why, Matt, you're seeing all this happen, right? Because in the age of Pisces, that is the age of religion. That is the age of faith. That is the age of worship. The age of Aquarius is the age of knowing, of understanding. And that's why, because we're building into the age of Aquarius and it's growing, we still have a lot of the negativity from the age of Pisces, which needs to be shuffled off, which will when we're done with this transitory period. And that's really all that is. That's how simple it is. So yes, we are technically in the age of Aquarius, but we're still dealing with some of Pisces backlash. So it's a great time to be alive.
Wow, beautifully stated. And yes, I did learn so much of that from you already, but you just nailed it, man. You've got it down better than most people I know, and it's for everyone watching. It's like, you know, whether we're on in the cusp or in it or not in it, like the fact is it's coming, you
Yeah,
know, and the best thing anyone can do is prepare now for an air age.
right,
So, you know, basically all of my work has been decoding and figuring this stuff out, much like yourself, but I've been creating these tools
right,
to help support this awakening.
right. So I got your website
Through
up right now. And
music.
Matt, I just wanted to throw in
Yeah.
one more piece of knowledge. Um,
Hmm.
when you say new age, I'm not a fan of that term, and I'll tell you why. Because what the elites
Oh,
do
tell me.
is they invert it and they pervert it. That's what they do. The stuff that they
Hmm.
call new age is actually older than religion. They
I
just
know, I know. That's
they
the funny
just
thing
call
about
it
it.
new age, and words matter. I talk about etymology a lot. Words matter. The origin of the words, that is what holds the power. That's why these signs don't matter. All this stuff doesn't matter. They just point it out. You know, whenever you see like this or any of that kind of stuff, that's just they don't know where it comes from, but it comes from benevolent places. So they attribute their own fear to it, and that keeps it alive. Whereas
Yeah.
we should be exposing things. So I've got your website up right now. Can you tell us what BLUVNBU means?
Yeah, well, I'm still kind of working that out, but it is what it is. It's the seven chakras. So, for example, B would stand for be rooted or like be grounded, right? The root chakra. And then you would just work your way left to right, you know, up ascending to the crown chakra,
Mm-hmm.
which would be unity consciousness at the end. So, that's the logo, and the color variation is important because to a lot of people it looks like blood and blue is I've heard it all at this point basically, but the colors are key. So when I'm playing live, the LCD screen's lit, it's going to be like flashing the chakra colors based on the songs. And of
Mm-hmm.
course I got the Bitcoin branded logo because blockchain is, I think, the technology to transition humanity into the Aquarian age.
It
This is
is.
going to change everything.
There's
Everything. It's
actually
happening.
Satoshi Nakamoto, the
Hmm.
guy who invented Bitcoin, doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's an
No, yeah,
amalgamation.
it's just
He's an amalgamation of 7 or 8 people that each had a
mhm,
key to the encryption code. One of the
okay.
guys that had it was John McAfee.
Yeah, that's why he was taken out.
Yeah,
He was speaking too much.
yeah. So this is your
Well,
website.
it's I actually I have to add this. I mean, because McAfee's a legend, you know, he's a wild dude. But right before he was taken out, he was speaking openly at conferences and everything about how Bitcoin lacks privacy and how Monero is a privacy coin. That's something everybody has to look at. So, the powers that be didn't want that word getting out. That's for
Right,
sure.
right.
Okay.
So we've got this website here, music, art, and literature for the Aquarian age. I'm just gonna discography. Okay, so is this the one Aquarian? Is this the one you're gonna do for us today?
Yeah. So, actually, do you mind if we just scroll all the way down and then work our way up? I
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
Let me
have,
do that for you.
yeah,
Hold on.
you know, we'll just go through the story
All
before I
right,
actually
so
play.
here's join for the community, which by the way, you were kind enough to give me a Scully, which I'm gonna wear in the winter all the time because it looks super comfortable. And you gave me
Yeah.
one of your books too. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, man. It was a treat to hand that to you in person, really. Um, okay, so moving up from here, you have the first song I ever wrote, and I'd been in rock bands my whole life, growing up in Jersey, and this was the first song I did with the singer of my last band, Bright and Early, and that was like the ritual process of me realizing who I was and what I was really supposed to do, like not just be a drummer. So I wrote this song. I still think it's one of the best songs I've ever done, and obviously you can stream it here on the site. Probably won't play that today, but you know, 2013, man, right
Well,
after my awakening.
you know, Dave Grohl started off as a drummer. You know that Don Henley from the Eagles was a drummer. There's nothing wrong with drummers singing.
Yeah, it's just tough to pull off. You know, I tried the headset mic thing, and everyone called me Britney. And I was like, what do I do, man? I mean, there's got to be better technology that looks like a pencil or like a thin wire that's like, all
Right,
right. But the problem
right,
is, so when you have a dynamic microphone like this, you can get close, you can come back. You know what I
right,
mean? If the thing's like glued to your face, you have no mic control. So
right.
you lose that. I'm figuring it out, but I don't know. I think I just need to train a drummer, to be honest. Actually, Nirvana, my wife, I'm trying to get her to pick up the drum. She's like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I'm like, you know what this
By the
takes?
guys, his wife's name is Nirvana. We're not talking. I just mentioned Dave Grohl. He's not going to be there. It's his
No,
wife's name
yeah.
is Nirvana.
Man, I have a lot of similarities to Dave Grohl. I really resonated before he joined the Foo Fighters.
Right,
Um, because I dealt with suicide as well.
right,
That was my awakening in 2011. I was dating my high school sweetheart. She was in Aquarius, together for almost 3 years, and man, she went missing for 5 days. And I can talk about it lightly now, but it freaking destroyed me in 2011. And I was forced to look at everything I thought was reality and
hmm,
question everything. And the biggest question I had to ask is like, what is God? Truly. Like I had to know, like being brought up in the Catholic Church for 8 years, CCD, the whole deal. I just made fun of it the whole time, but I always held a connection to spirit. I knew I was part of something greater and
right.
held on to that. Once the tragedy ensued, man, I looked deeper, and then here we are today. I mean, a
I don't know if
decade
you can see
later.
this, but you're familiar with Project Semicolon?
No. Oh, Starseed.
No,
Yeah.
not the star seed under it, the semicolon. It's
No, tell me.
it's Project Semicolon. It's for people
Okay.
who are recovering from suicide ideation or things of that nature, or who have gone through a lot of mental illness. Because what is a semicolon? Well, in writing, I'm a writer, right? I'm an author. In writing, when you use a semicolon, it's when you could have ended something, i.e., your life, but you used a semicolon and kept it going. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like spiritually metaphorical. Everything is spirit.
Wow.
Everything is spirit. So it's
Yeah, for
Project
sure.
Semicolon. It's one of the only charities that I actually really support. But yeah, that's
I
what it's
love that.
for.
I
That's
love
what it's for. It's a reminder.
Okay, man. I'm gonna look into it. I try to like share what I've learned, and obviously, suicide is never the way, man. I unfortunately, for someone to get to that point, I feel like it might be coded in a prior soul contract. Like it's just,
It's possible.
I don't know, man.
What they don't tell you,
In some cases,
what they don't tell you is that the people that end their life here have to reincarnate here because they didn't get the lesson the first time.
yeah, it's it's unfortunate. I mean, but anyway,
So we have
all right,
starting over
let's move
here.
on.
Right. So starting over, this
Yeah,
was released 10 years ago, almost to the day.
yeah. Jesus, you're right.
Okay.
Um,
And we
Amazing.
got
Yeah, it's coming
Awakening.
full circle, man. Because I'll be 33 on October 12th next month, which is
Right.
my new single. And you've heard that song that represents like a completion of all of this work here. But now you have the Awakening EP, and this was the first like record I've ever done. It was 7 songs total, all inspired by the 7 chakras. I had done like a 200-hour yoga teacher training at this beautiful cabin on the east side of Orlando, and then I ended up kind of taking over the lease on the place, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make some music here. And once I got my notice to move out, owner was moving back. I'm like, hit up my guy Josh Hastick, Engine 3 Productions, came down from Nashville, fresh out of Full Sail, and we recorded this whole record in that cabin. My dad was there, the family, and it was so special to me, man. But this record really outlines. It's obviously like my more like indie punk kind of early day sound. It's like My Chemical Romance, like on their first record. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Like all the tri-state bands.
Right.
But the songs are great, and they're gonna help someone that's kind of starting to face the music, and their awakening is coming up, and they're like, God, I feel so alone, and I don't know who to turn to. Well, you turn to the music as you're facing the music. So
Oh
that's what
yeah.
this is completely designed
I
for.
mean, Matt, what you can do in a 3.5 minute song takes me 250 pages or in an hour podcast to do. Like it's incredible. Just the music, the way it
Dude, really?
conveys. Yeah. Oh yeah. The way it conveys. Like
I mean, so much.
musicians are. I mean, they tell a complete story in 3 minutes or whatever the radio cuts it off as now. 3 to 5
Oh, it's
minutes or
hard,
whatever.
man.
Now, my
Yeah.
question is: so far, we have We have the awakening. We have starting over. Now, were these all done in 432?
The only song on Awakening in 432 was Why. And that's the heart chakra song. And it just happened, dude, I've been struggling forever to find a producer that's like just down to do it.
Now, do you get like do you get
That
like
was the
visceral pushback because they're all taught against it from a young age?
well, it's more like it's just what people producer their ears are trained for this. They've been playing
Okay.
guitars in 440. They've been doing it all in that for decades. So it's like it's a nightmare in the studio when stuff isn't in tune. But as we learned, like I really pushed John Niclario on this new single, and I was like, "Hey, man, like as a friend, as your client, like it would mean the world to me if we just go for it, man. And if it doesn't work out, if it's a tuning nightmare, you're gonna be paid in full, and we'll try again next time." But
Okay.
dude, like everything just flowed, and like when we found a hiccup, which there weren't many at all, like he was learning, and he's like, oh wow, like I figured out how to tune the vocals to 432, and the guitar stayed in tune because I had them professionally set up by Mike at Guitar Rescue in Jersey. So they were tuned at A to 432. It was flawless, man. It's how I'm doing it moving forward, 100%.
Now, this was released 2 years ago, again in October. You with the Libra slash Scorpio releases. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
doing that
man.
on purpose, but you should be self-aware of that. Let me ask you a question. I'm looking at
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the cover of the CD on the right,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep, designed
Okay.
by my mother,
Did you
Carolyn.
did you mean to make it look like Atlantis or how Atlantis was depicted?
No, man, not at all. That's just my mom. I'm like, hey, mom, this song's for Pirate Chain, privacy coin in the cryptocurrency world. Inspired by my friend, we call him a legend of loots. He's been a driving force behind it, the community, the technology. He's like one of my top allies in crypto. So like he's like, write a song for me, man. I'm like, all right. And then this just happened, dude. This was the first time I ever did this entire song in 10 hours. And I finished writing it the night before. Woke
Wow.
up, banged it out in 10 hours. And then mom just made the artwork, man. And it's
Right.
also the title of the guidebook, The Last Stand, How to Thrive in the Age of
Yes.
Aquarius. Then it's got the artwork for the song, like
Yeah,
kind of
that's the book
in,
that you gave me, right? Where can people get
yeah,
that
the
book,
song
by the
artwork.
way?
Honestly, I'm gonna spill the beans. I shouldn't do this because I don't like to share things until it is done. But Santos agreed to write the foreword. Santos Bonacci agreed to write the foreword for the guidebook. And until I get that in writing and it's done, great. But just saying, it should happen. He said he would do it. I don't know what's going to happen. So until then, I'm gonna write a second edition every year. I'm gonna do a new edition based on new research, new
Mhm.
thesis of worldview around the
Right.
Aquarian age.
Do you have his
Make out
contact
every
info
consensus. Do I have contact? What? What'd you say?
for Santos? Do you have Santos's contact info?
Just his email. That's it.
Okay, that's usually what I do too. Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but he took like a year to get back to me. Like finally got back to me about
Yeah,
it.
well, it's been a lot of people know that I teach for Santos. They know I had my Great Awakening in
Mm-hmm.
2012 at my Saturn return, go figure. I had a Great Awakening. Santos work basically, I lost my mind. And then 10 years later, I'm teaching for him. And Santos was in one area of Mexico, kind of by the East Coast. And that's where he had his community. And what he
Yeah,
told me was
Puerto Morelos.
what he told me was there was a bunch of 5G towers that were around there and people kept getting sick. So they had to move it to the other
Mhm.
side of Mexico towards the California side. So they had to make that huge move. They're moving everything. It's still taking a little while, but he still replies to
Yeah,
emails
whole
and
system.
he's still there, but he's been busy. That's why I haven't been putting up new work on his channel and things of that nature. But okay, so now we're
Right.
back on to the top. So we made our way to the top. This is Aquarian, released on 2/22/22, which is, if you're doing the math, still Aquarius. Good job.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Dude, the day that this whole record came out on I keep going between the mics, sorry, but dude, when it came out streaming worldwide on this date, which will, I don't know, not happen again for 200 years. Uh dude, I was standing in front of the Chichen Itza, the Mayan paradise that is the Yucatan. I was like my first time ever. Like we were traveling Mexico. I just finished up speaking or playing at Acapulco, and we're like, let's tour the Yucatan, and that was the day we ended up there by accident because shit fell through. Dude, it was like I felt like I just feel like so connected to the Mayans and the even the Aztecs. Obviously, they're very connected, but the calendar and that's why I wear the silver piece from Mexico. They were right,
You do know
man.
that their calendar ended December 21st, 2012, right? That was the winter solstice of the beginning of the end
Yeah,
of
it's
Pisces. It was the end of an
that's
age.
right.
It was the end of an era. It wasn't the calendar ran out. It didn't run out. The age ran out. The Mayans knew this.
Yes, yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's amazing. So
Oh man, I'm so happy to be talking to you. It's like you get me, you get this, man, like more than
you do.
anyone I've ever
And
met.
Matt, by the way, is going to be down there with Nirvana in Daytona in what is this, under 5 weeks? Under 5 weeks. We're going to be down there. We're going to have a really good time. Um, we're going to do this every year. I don't know what it's going to look like the first year. They're still calling it Micah Fest, and I've been begging Carrie to change it, but she refuses. So it is what it is.
Okay.
You with the double mics, you familiar with Andrew McMahon, Jack's Mannequin, something corporate?
Oh yeah, he comes through Orlando all the time.
Okay, he switches mics all the time like you do.
Well, shit, I just figured this out today. I've never done it before, but I figured it'd be annoying if I was talking like this the whole time.
No, it's okay. All right, so you're gonna do Aquarian, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna play some songs off of it. Now this record it's all in 440 hertz, like the actual sound recording. So I'll
Right.
play it in 432. This is based on the five elements, which
Beautiful.
as it unfolded, I kind of like coined something called the five sciences within the guidebook. So each element is based on a science. So the fire science of spirit is what we've become, and the earth science of the body is the rabbit hole, and then the air science of the mind is oh, I lost a screen share. I was reading it. The air science of the mind is uh I can breathe, like air, breathe, breath.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the water science of passion is a song called "I Know," like you said, the mantra for the air age of Aquarius, the age of knowing instead of believing, and the last one is the ethereal science of purpose,
Right,
called
which is where everything comes from, guys. The ether.
yeah, just
That's
the
where they don't
truth.
want you to be. They don't want you to be in the ether.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to hook you up with one of my friends, Joanna Crowder. I've interviewed her a couple of times here. She has a
Okay.
metaphysical school. She has a PhD in metaphysics, and she has a metaphysical school. And I think it's right up your alley. I think you guys should know each other. So I will introduce you guys at a certain point. But all right. So do you want to? Which song are you going to start with? And then just give us a brief overview of what the song's about.
Yeah, let's start with the last stand. Um, yeah, we'll just start with that one. That's not the Aquarian EP, but it's relevant, man. It's the book. Okay.
I work to eat and sleep and just repeat. And I wonder, is this the life for me? I followed all the rules and did my best. The tragedy of my will to detest. When I found some answers, I spoke up, and I was cast into the shadows that chained me up. No, I won't forget things that they said. And you don't know the places I have been. People said I was wrong all along. Batten down the hatches, says the calm before the storm. The system has been broken, and soon will be no more. The tools, they can enslave us, or they can set us free. This is the last stand for our freedom and our privacy. No, I won't forget the things that they say. And you don't know the places I have been. People said that I was wrong all along. I stay strong. I'm gonna change the world for you, my son. Well, here I am, right where I belong. You're now we have a chance to tear this down, so we can build again and make it sound. People said that I was wrong all along. I stayed strong. I'm gonna change the world for you, my son. Well, here I am, right where I belong. You're
Very nice. Very nice.
Thanks, bro.
I saw you were getting more comfortable as it went along.
No, for sure, because my in-ear was falling out. I couldn't even hear myself. And
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had the things in. Okay.
yeah, when you
You
can't
know
hear
how
yourself.
when after when we went and had dinner that night, when I took you guys out for pizza and then you guys got coffee afterwards and then you dropped me off, and then you
Yeah,
played that song for me, right? And I told you it reminded me of Owl City.
absolutely.
This one, did you listen to Dashboard growing up?
That's so funny you say that. Of course I did. But
Because it
actually,
reminds me of them
uh-huh.
on Happy Pills.
Yeah, I know for sure, man. Because they used to be a bit emo. I don't know about the new stuff, but their drummer now,
Yeah.
my all-time favorite drummer, Chris Camerata, and he almost drummed for me at the Aquarius Music and Art Festival in
Wait, isn't Chris Camerata the singer, or is that Chris Caraba? Or
Chris Carava. Yeah, it's so funny. They look alike and they have like similar names. Like obviously they were meant to sync
right?
up and make music together.
I mean,
But
Chris Caraba. I thought he was like a math teacher or something that got big. Isn't that what happened? What his story was?
I don't I don't know, man.
I think he was a math teacher and he started writing songs, and they were like, "You should pursue this."
You got to be a mathematician to ace the game like that, man. Like they're touring all the time, going to the UK next month. It's amazing.
Good for them. It reminds me a lot of it. I hear a lot of Dashboard, and not in a negative way.
Yeah, no, I mean, how could that be
Um,
negative? They're amazing.
cool, man. So tell me about what was going through your mind when you wrote that song? Because I hear a lot of pain and overcoming things there.
God, yeah, man. The hook to that's like the melody has
Yeah.
been in my soul for years. but I didn't finish I didn't put words to it. Like that's kind of how my songwriting works. Like when a melody and a beat hits me, I sync with the music and the vibe first, and I
Okay.
just chill with it year after year, and I just start putting things together. But when it's time to go to tape, so to speak, and record the song, I have no problem saying, all right, this is what the message is going to be because it's time to come out right now. So
Beautiful.
that's what it was. It was just Lutz and everything with Pirate Chain, and they featured the music video. Like Lutz flew me out to Pork Fest. I performed there. I got to meet so many people. We did a music video. They put it on the Pirate Chain YouTube. Like they did a lot for me, you know, and I hope to do a lot for them and just spread awareness about privacy. Like it's so important. It's intrinsic to freedom.
Yes. Beautiful, man. Okay, so is that the first song on your CD?
No, that's a single. It was just a good practice one because you know, if I can hear myself, I play that better than probably these other songs. But
Do you need a minute to fix yourself?
nah, I'm good now, man. We're all fixed up.
Okay. So what song we got next? Do you want to give me a little bit of a preview?
Yeah. Well, so how about you pick, right? Of the five elements, we've got the fiery song, "What We've Become," which I'm kind of feeling. Also, the rabbit hole is kind of like maybe we should do rabbit hole. Because it's like
You know, it'd be
the
interesting to
book
see.
series.
You know, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Start from the lowest element going up.
Well, what is the lowest element? Do you like on the star? The
So you got
pentagram?
ether on the top, right?
Oh, yep. Okay.
So it would be, what would it be? It would be earth or water or fire, maybe.
And I wrote this down somewhere because I'm building a custom snare based around the five elements.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like next for the next edition of the guidebook. I want to like place it within the pentagram, you know, and kind of put an order of operations to learning the elements.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, lowest one might be the earth. I mean, you can't get more dense than earth.
Yeah, I would think earth. The pentagram's not evil, people, by the way. I talk about this so endlessly. In fact, if you're Christian and you're watching this, because there are some Christians that watch my channel, I think they're just masochists. I don't know why. They don't really reach out. They don't really leave mean comments. I got this one guy that does. He's kind of funny though. But the pentagram for Christians in its original iteration for Christians, this is not where it originally comes from, but for when it comes to pentagram being ascribed to evil and Lucifer and Satan and all that stuff, the Christians had the pentagram first. It's 5 points. It's the 5 points of infliction on Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they had that from. And I talk about the pentagram too. You have Venus, which is Lucifer, because it's the morning star, and Earth going around the sun in a year's time. They almost connected 5 points. That's the pentagram. It's all astrology. It's the same thing with the swastika. What did I say? They invert it and pervert it. They just mirror image it. The swastika is the Big Dipper on the solstices and the equinoxes around Polaris. Yeah. When you realize that everything goes back to the stars and it's as above, so below, you can understand why they're trying to keep this from us.
Yeah, man, because, well, obviously knowledge is power, but, I mean, you know the saying, millionaires don't study astrology, billionaires do. And I bet there's even trillionaires and beyond that exist that we don't know about. People that really control the resources and of the earth, you know, and even the non-physical, in a sense. Wow, man. Yeah, the Son of God, the Sun, S-U-N of God. It's,
right.
It's very awakening. It's very awakening, and you're doing great work, man. I mean, you are Santos. I hope that he could live forever and figure out anti-aging, but he might not. So, dude, someone's got to take on the lead, and that guy is you for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try.
I mean it. Yeah, man. So
we're doing Earth now, right?
Yeah, let's do the rabbit hole because this is your book series.
Yes, it is.
Which we now have, which is congratulations, man. Like I self-published this guidebook, but you've got a deal and the artwork is
It took me 7 years. I wrote my first book took 2 years to write, and it took me 7 years of rejection to finally get a book deal in 2019. 2 years to write my first book. By the time I got to my seventh book I wrote in 19 days.
Wow. Man, you're just on a roll. Can I ask, what was the tipping point for you that finally the deal went through?
So, quick backstory for you guys that don't know about my book series and everything. I had originally, people don't realize this, but you have to spend money to get published. And what that means is basically, what you have to do is you go to the library and there's a book, I forget what it's called, because I haven't seen it in 10 years, but You get this book and it's only at the library, because if you buy it online, it's $2,000 to $3,000 every year. The library has a copy. You go there and it lists all the agents and all the publishing houses. Now, how it works in writing is you need an agent, because what the agent does is if she agrees to take on your work or he agrees to take on your work, for you guys who are interested in writing, what that does is that gets rid of 90% of all the bullshit. Because once you have an agent, it's like, all right, you have something legitimate here. I'll take your query seriously. Because otherwise, every schmuck out there is going to reach out to try and get a book deal. Right? So they like to go through agents. It's just a filtering process. That's all it is. So I couldn't get an agent with my first book. I originally titled it Decoding the Phoenix, which is why I have a phoenix rising against the sun on my arm. I called it Decoding the Phoenix, and my pen name was MD Chavez, my first and last initial and my middle name. And I couldn't get, so I self-published it. And then it was all right. I was in a couple newspapers, this and that. My second book got me an agent. My second book, I queried a bunch of people. When you query these people, you have to pay, right? And then when the agent takes you on and then they query the publishing houses, you have to pay for every query, right? So you really have to believe in what you're doing. And my second book got me an agent, and she started pitching it, and people were becoming interested. But they were like, he already published book one. This is mid-series. We don't pick things up mid-series. So what I had to do was scrub all the articles and everything off the internet. I had to pay the internet to be cleaned.
Wow.
Of all my articles and accomplishments and everything, local papers, things of that nature. Got rid of all that. Changed my title of my book series to Into the Rabbit Hole. Changed my pen name to my actual name. And then we pitched book one, which was originally Decoding the Phoenix. It's the same book. It's the same exact book. We just changed the title and changed the pen name. We had pitched to so many publishing houses. None of them wanted it, or none of them went for it. At the very end, the very last person, or the second to last person that she pitched to, because she was like, if this doesn't work, there's no one else. So we pitched to that many people. So my the second to last person, my publishing house now, Speaking Volumes, said it's interesting, but we're not going to pay in advance on this. If he wants, we can possibly, we'll read the manuscript, and if we like it, because we like the premise, if we like it, we'll set it up for summer 2020 release. And that's basically what they did. Now, at the same time that they were doing that, I got contacted by a pretty big publishing house in the UK, right? They were looking into it. They were interested. But at the end of the day, they didn't want to, they knew I signed with this publishing house. They didn't want to split revenue, this, that, and that, so I didn't go with them. But this publishing house is incredible. They do everything. They finalize edit. They get you a book cover. The picture, they take care of everything. They get the ISBN for it, which if you've published a book, you have to get. They do everything. They put it out, they promote it on their stuff, and that's what it is. But from the time I wrote book one in 2012 until 2019, I don't have to tell you, Matt, when you're in entertainment or you try and break into entertainment, but you have to really believe in yourself. And that has to be self-fueling. That has to be self-fueling. That has to be a fire that burns and then continues to burn endlessly in yourself. Because if you can doubt yourself or you can get frustrated, but the difference between people who succeed and people who don't is that they don't give up. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people could have made it if they didn't give up. So for those of you out there who think that my stuff is interesting, or you guys are following my work, or you've met me through my books, or you've met me through my channel, understand that even my series, which blends 20 different esoteric sciences, 1984 mixed with Da Vinci Code with young wise ass kids, even that took me 7 years of rejection. But I just kept telling myself, they don't know what dope is. And people will eventually. And that's what's going to happen for both of us. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wow, so much wisdom there. I mean, I could add on it just for fun, but why? Like, enough said, It's true. I've seen it. I've lived it. I've never given up, and so many people I know have. They have, dude.
Right.
It's sad.
Okay. So what is this song called?
Well, it's called The Rabbit Hole.
The Rabbit Hole, right? Okay.
And it's the earth science of the body. And the way this song came about is, dude, I've just been going down the rabbit hole and been so alone up until recently. Hey, does anyone realize that everything's a lie and this is bullshit? And, it's like, no, we love it. No, you're crazy. Shut up. It's like, so like going down the rabbit hole it was challenging, man. And I had to write a song just to express, like, if you're going to embrace the Aquarian age before the herd, you're going to have to go down the rabbit hole and face the music, go through the gates of hell to find heaven, and then ground heaven down to earth, the earth science of the body.
Yes. What you're literally doing is musical alchemy.
Yeah, 100%. And especially now at 432 hertz. It's on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this song will forever and always be dedicated to you, Michael.
Thank you.
I mean it. It's meant to be. This one's called The Rabbit Hole.
Every time I look and see the ground beneath my feet, the sun, the stars are part of me. When I think I've fallen like a shooting star, I wake up and wonder where we are. Then I started searching for answers. I was hurting, some things did not add up. I was digging myself deeper, the truth became much clearer. Why had I been in the dark? The town that I'm from, they couldn't get smaller. I had to move out and get wise and get stronger. Now that I'm free and finally on my way, when I think I had things figured out, said, that's how the story goes. Down we go until the rabbit hole. I got lost and I found my way back home. When there's nowhere to turn, oh, I've gotta go back to rock and roll. To rock and roll. Now everybody's talking, they heard what I was saying. Oh no, oh no. They shut me down and called me crazy, said it was a conspiracy. I was wrong. The town that I'm from, it couldn't get smaller. I had to move out and get wise and get stronger. Now that I'm free, finally on my way, I think I had things figured out. Someone said, that's how the story goes. Down we go into the rabbit hole. I got lost and I found my way back home. When there's nowhere to turn, oh, I've gotta go back to rock and roll. To rock and roll. Down I go into the rabbit hole. If I get lost, I know I'll find my way back down. I go into the rabbit hole. If I get lost, I know I'll find my way back down. I go into the rabbit hole. If I get lost, I'll find my way back home. Take me running in circles, trying to figure this out. You thought that I was pretending. Take a look at this now. You will not have my body, my soul. You will not have my mind. You can fool me once, fool me twice, but 3 times. 3 times too many. Down we go into the rabbit hole. Got lost and found my way back home when there's nowhere to turn. Oh, I gotta go back to rock and roll. Go into the rabbit hole. Got lost and found my way back home when there's nowhere to turn. Oh, I gotta go back to rock and roll. Go back to rock and roll. Oh,
That is my song.
that is, man. It is. I fucked up the end or whatever, but who cares, man? The song is it.
This is good stuff, man.
I'm not a singer anyway. My younger brother is. He's the voice. I'm just a messenger, dude. Just a drummer. I tried to tell him that last week. Tried to get him to sing on the song that we just recorded, but he was taken, by whatever mental illness is the source of that, which is not the DSM and not what everyone says it is. Really, something else. It's something unseen, and it got him, and he couldn't make it. So yeah, I'm doing the best I can, man. Just building everything up. I just like you have. I feel like once we get one breakout, one opportunity that really puts our work on the map, it's on, dude.
Right.
Like everything you've done. I mean, you're already, I feel like, getting that break, but me, dude, I'm just like, when's gonna be my time, man? Oh, shit. Okay, so you like that song?
Yes.
All right, man. Well, I know we're pushing time. Like, how many more songs you want to do?
Well, let's see. How long have we been on here for? This has been.
I don't know. It's been a wormhole of fun.
You want to do your song that you played for me,
Yeah, I do.
and we can call it at that.
I almost wish that I could like play that song, like the actual recording, like through Zoom. Like, did they figure it out where it would actually sound good? Oh, okay. You don't like that idea. All right, man. I'll play it.
This is the song, guys, that he played for me in the car
Yeah, man.
when they dropped me off.
You don't know this, but I was waiting until the very end to hit you with that.
Ah,
I was like, we gonna be best friends, especially after this. Oh, there we go. Okay, man. Yeah, it's weird, man. I'll be 33 on October 12th, and Freemasonry is something that's really, it's grown on me in a very positive way. Whereas I used to like blame them as like the infamous they.
that's like chasing this and this and this. It's
Yeah.
like chasing this. Blaming Freemasonry. It's like chasing these symbols or chasing Lucifer, Satan. It's entry level shit. People haven't evolved past that. Can you speak on behalf of every single Mason? No. But if you haven't watched the video of KRS-One talking about the Illuminati and Freemasonry, if you haven't watched that video, I don't even want to hear your opinion on Freemasonry.
Cool.
So,
I think I have seen that. I just don't.
In fact,
really remember
you're
that.
turning 33. The reason Jesus is crucified at 33, right? Well, let me start with this. He disappears at 12 and he comes back at 30 to start his ministry. What happened for those 18 years? You're asking the wrong question. Remember, these are metaphorical stories. And the Jews are based on Saturn worship, Saturnalia. That's where it comes from. Now, at the age of 12, a young Jewish boy gets bar mitzvahed. Now, I'm going to get some Jews that are going to come out there and say it's the 13. No, do your homework. It's the 13th year. You can still be 12 in your 13th year.
Right.
Now, he disappears at 12. He comes back at 30 as a teacher. So why does he disappear for so long? Well, the Jews were Saturn worshippers, Saturnalia worship. And Saturn, they said that you couldn't teach until you had a Saturn return. And that happens when you're 29.5 or 30 years. So that's why he disappears at 12 after his bar mitzvah. And then at 30, he comes back. Now he's crucified at 33 because what happens? Christ is a title. His parents were not, her name wasn't Mary Christ and Joseph Christ or God Christ. Christ is a title. You got to remember, the New Testament was written in Greek. It was written in Greek. It wasn't written in English. That didn't come out until 1611. And it wasn't written in Hebrew. It was written in Greek by Hellenistic Jews that wrote the New Testament. Christos means anointed one or oil. So you have your centripetal cell that releases the oil. It climbs up Jacob's ladder, all 33 bones. At the 33rd degree, or the 33rd bone, you guys listening, you know that your spine actually goes into your brain, right? There's no like gap, like it goes into your brain. The 33rd bone is right at your pineal gland. That's why he's crucified in Golgotha. Golgotha translates to the place of the skull. It's all there anatomically. They tell you this. It's all there. This is why he's crucified at 33. There's so many layers to the Bible. My issue with Christians and Jews and Muslims and all of them is not that they believe in it literally. I mean, that is my problem. My problem is they're not giving the Bible enough credit for actually how wisdom-filled and brilliant it is. You know, that's just the anatomical version. I just teach the astrotheological one.
Yeah, but the earth science of the body, man, the body is not, it's not even physical, you know? So when you really break it down, so it's like there's so much more, so many more layers that just deepen your understanding of reality, of yourself, really. That's self-realization. Wow, you just dropped so much wisdom. I'm gonna share this with my audience. I'm gonna be like, what did I just hear? But I mean, debunkmywork.com, man. Check it out and just sit down, you know, pack a bowl or something and eat an edible. I don't know, and just go to town. Just let go and just surrender to the information. Because
Matt, after you do this song and I upload this video, right, and I'll send you the link so that you could share it out. I want to schedule a day with you where I could bring you back on to talk metaphysics.
I'd love to, yeah, because I love doing the Unplugged thing. It means the world that you would want to share the music, the alchemy, really.
Yeah.
But dude, there's so much to talk about. And honestly, we covered a lot of really good stuff. It's a good tease.
Yeah. You can message me some topics. Message me some topics that you want to talk about, and we'll jump into it. But so, okay, what element is the song that you played for me? And give us a little backstory of it, because I truly this is the song, guys, that I told you it sounded a little bit like Owl City to me.
Yeah, you know what? It's not an element. The Aquarian EP. There's only 5 elements, right? So that's the Aquarian EP. 5 songs. This is a new single. This like I'm the element, I guess. Like it's this song. It used to be called Angry, and I was at Akon Studio in Atlanta trying to do this song. That fell to shit. You know, then my boy D Wild did pre-production. He killed it. But I'm like, dude, this, and I told him, like, dude, this song is just not where I need it to be. And then I booked some time at Plush Studios, which is owned by 2 of probably the most important and influential people in the music industry right now here in Orlando. And, you know, just going through negotiations, and I just felt like I was being taken advantage of. Like, I was just a number to them, you know, and I literally laid it all out, what I was bringing to the table. So I'm like, forget this. Reached out to my guy, John Aclario, who, for the record, did My Chemical Romance's first record before they took over the world, man. This guy is a legend up north. And he's like, just come back here. So, yeah, through this whole process, I'm like, you know what? The song's finally coming together. I'm going to be 33 October 12th. And the song's for me, man, because I've been very angry. You know, I've been very angry, and not anymore. Oh man, I feel amazing now. I feel there's something about the Christos and what you said, where the top of the spine here merged with the pineal gland. It's like, dude, I've been sober since July for the first time in like a decade, and I feel like the knowledge was just giving me this hyper energy, dude.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of nicotine, maybe a coffee, and I'm like dude, I could punch through a wall. Like, just
Yeah.
I'm filled with the power of knowledge, the energy of knowledge,
Right.
and just the desire to share it. And that's what this song is about. I'm just so angry that I've been sharing like this knowledge for so many years, and it just falls on deaf ears, and I get trolled, and I get deplatformed and censored. Dude, it's time, man. Like,
You know,
this,
when we're talking about spiritual alchemy, right?
yeah,
You say that you were angry and you wrote this song, but you transformed it into a piece of art. Because, Matt, what I tell everybody is the cure for depression and emptiness and the hole is not to worship an invisible God. And everybody knows what I actually think God is. So I say that as far as the literalist belief in the God up there. That's not going to fill the hole in your heart. Creation does, art does, right brain activities do. What you did is you took anger and you transmuted it into love. That's the philosopher's stone. That's turning lead into gold in alchemy.
yeah, yeah, man. The violet flame of transmutation. It's. I'm here for it. And you know, it's like the world is in mass psychosis. I think it's because the truth is coming out. It's the information age, the air age, and people are realizing that everything they've ever known is kind of a lie. That they've been living a lie. They've been lying to themselves about like who they actually are and what they're supposed to do in this lifetime, and what's really fundamentally important. You know, like family, freedom, privacy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, health. Health is wealth. They're just lost in the material world,
Right.
and they're falling for all the traps along.
And not only that, but I always say this: why do you think that the elites have massive security all the time? It's because they're scared of you. And there was a cartoon called Ants. It was a kids movie, Ants. And at one point, one of them says, "There's more of them than there is us. If they ever figure this out, the game is over." And they literally just put it in there.
The Pixar, I love that Pixar movie. I love it. Yeah, so much wisdom. You nailed it. Ah, man, I don't know. Maybe we can talk more privately about like what age 33 means for me. But I make a joke with all my crypto buddies and stuff, and my dudes. I'm like, I'm hitting my Masonic puberty in October.
Right. Because what they've done is they've taken something that's beautiful, wise, and they've ruined it. This is why they push. I tell everybody, Matt, on my channel, and everybody that listens to me, I tell them that the worst thing that you could ever do is ecstasy. Ecstasy is the worst you could do, because what ecstasy does is it dries out your spinal fluid. And you need that spinal fluid because that's the river of Jordan that the Christos comes up.
Mm-hmm.
It travels up the spinal fluid up to 33 bones. If you have less spinal fluid, you're going to have problems when they do spinal taps. Your headaches are going to be worse when they do spinal taps. You're going to have random flashbacks and headaches, and the Christos isn't going to come up properly.
Dude, I'm glad I've never done that. I've done like Molly MDMA once when I was.
Well, MDA is actually being treated for depression in small doses, which is it's about time. It's about time that they're going back to plant medicine and all that wisdom. Yeah, you're good.
I'm clear.
So, what is the title of this song? Because I just know it as "I Can't Get You Out of My Head."
Yeah, well, of course, you know, that's the catchy part. I can't get this out of my head. It's called 33, man, because I'm going to be 33 on the day it goes streaming worldwide with a
beautiful
music video.
All right, man. So let's give him a show. Let's close out with this.
Absolutely. Thanks, brother.
I was thinking, I was saying, I was wishing, I was praying, I was hoping, I was searching for something to believe in. This is how I am until my story ends. Like it and leave it, no need to pretend. I can't get this out of my head. These problems must be put to rest. I'm here for the solutions. Until then, why can't I be angry? Whoa, when you've seen the things that I've seen. Whoa, it's only temporary. sorry. Whoa, can you see what I see? Stronger together, divided we fall. Humble and thankful, don't need to know it all. We are the people and you are my tribe. We're walking through the fire till the end of time. I can't get this out of my head. These problems must be put to rest. I'm here for the solutions. Until then, why can't I be angry? Whoa, when you've seen the things that I've seen. Whoa, it's only temporary. Whoa, and it sure beats feeling sorry. Whoa, I'm gonna make it something beautiful. Make it beautiful. I'm gonna make it beautiful. I'm gonna make it beautiful. Gonna make it beautiful. Oh, can you see what I see?
Dude, fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man.
That must feel so cathartic to sing that song too.
Oh, dude, it's such a release. That's why I write the music, man. Because just imagine hundreds of thousands of people hanging on every word, crowd surfing, fists in the air,
Yeah.
mosh pits, whatever it takes, dude. Just get the energy out. Totally sober, totally clear, together. That's how you change the world, man. That's how you heal the world.
Yeah,
And that's what the world needs.
it is. That's why I try and post a lot of spiritual esoteric stuff. But if I don't mix in some like absolute shit posting on my like Facebook, if I don't mix in some like degenerate stuff, then I'm gonna fly off to the ether. So
Yeah,
that's how I ground myself, really.
sure. You're so funny, man, and I love that about you. You know, you got to be able to laugh at this stuff. You got to get to that point.
Yeah, a lot of growth. Wow, man. So do me a favor, tell everyone where they can find you, your website, social media, and all that stuff.
Oh man, so glad you asked that. So I just launched something really big. You can cut this out if you don't approve of me. Like I'm not gonna promote this, but basically, ageofaquarius.org is like it's the place to go. Like if you want to connect with me and the music and you're ready for all that, that's beloveandbu.com. That's easy. But really, my heart and soul, my calling to serve is ageofaquarius.org is to take the amazing information that leaders like Micah are sharing and condense it into like a really digestible format with music and tools that really make it easy for your ascension. So definitely just go there and get the guidebook for free. You can download it. You just need name, email, create a username for the community forum, and if you're really like tapped in, then I think you're gonna see the value in what I finally rolled out, which is called the Aquarian Artist Alliance. So my thesis is that in the era age of Aquarius that we're moving into, kind of in right, like
Yeah.
AI, robotics, crypto, it's going to replace almost 90% of jobs, if not more. So you're going to be left to your own devices as a human being, like skin and bones, birthday suit. What can I do to serve, you know? So what are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your passions? And it's all going to come down to artistry. You don't have to be like a virtuoso. I'm not even that, but you're going to have to tap into the water science of passion and bring out those gifts so that you can add value to the world. And by natural law of reciprocity, what you give, you get in return, you're provided for, you know? And the greater you impact the world, the bigger you're going to receive. I mean, that's just natural
Well,
law.
that's called karma.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is why the elites show us the negative stuff that they do, because they're scared of karma, because they know that karma comes from everything. And when I explain how the universe works, mathematics is the left brain way that the universe is completely built on. I talk about the piano being Fibonacci, right? Mathematics is built into everything. And that is what rules everything. But the right brain side of that is karma. Karma keeps the balance. So it's always important that you do things out of love, guys.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I feel like I've done here is I've taken like all of my passions and knowledge and kind of assimilated it in like how can people like practically thrive in this new age? Like what strategies, what mindset, what tools, what information, you know, do they need to be doing? And I strongly believe like right now is like this is the time to be stacking cash and selling off things you don't need, getting down to zero as much as you can, but be heavy in fiat and start investing in decentralized cryptos that support the Aquarian age, which is freedom and privacy. So I'm providing basically like all of the information to like you don't even have to do any work really. It's like here's what you buy. I'm going to tell you when to buy it, when to sell it, how to securely, safely store all this stuff, monthly reports. I mean, it's a whole big thing, but you just go to ageofaquarius.org. You'll see the banner for enrollment. And right now, just to get things kicked off, I'm doing like lifetime. So it's like $200 forever to like basically for me to help you become rich with crypto. And then we'll explore the 5 sciences and you'll have all the music and the guidebook. There's a lot of people that are ready for that and resonate with it, but I mean, dude, I keep getting unsubscribes from my email list, like thousands of people unsubscribe. It's only like 15 members strong right now. I thought I'd hit 100. It's just crazy, man. I mean, either I need to do something better with my marketing, or people just aren't ready to like thrive in the Aquarian age. I don't know, man.
They'll find it eventually. Did you happen to see the video of the lady that went to the grocery store, put and paid with her palm, and she was so excited?
Oh, yeah, that's what people need to know, man. That's where the education's at. Never put the tech in your body, you know. And don't be excited about that. That's like the negative side of transhumanism.
Do you remember when the Apple phones came out with a fingerprint scanner?
Yeah.
Do you know some people were using their cat's paws and their penises to do that instead?
Damn, I wish I thought of that before I conceded. I just did it because I'm just a sucker for Apple, man. I bit the Apple. Like my Apple gear is just insane, dude. It's so powerful and intuitive, and I can create anything, literally
Right.
anything in record time. Like getting this audio set up, I've never set this up before, and I did it in like 3 hours right before this call. So yeah, I don't know. There's just when it comes to operational security and privacy, especially with crypto blockchain, like there's things that really are critical. But then there's some things it's like at the end of the day, you're human, man. And if you get taken out or some shit goes wrong, it is what it is, man. It wasn't your fault. But you got to prepare as best as you can, take the precautions, be responsible.
And where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so the band name is it's everywhere, man. I'm on every platform. It's locked in. It's at the 7-letter acronym Be Love and Be You. You'll find me everywhere. But I am most active on Facebook, as I think you kind of are too, outside of YouTube.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Like, we're basically going for like that market is like families and people that are really in the matrix, so to speak. Why do we go on Facebook all the time? I feel called to do it. Why do you do it?
I'm shadow banned on the other two.
Yeah, man. Come on.
So, Matt, man, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna put this up right away, man. And I will text you. We'll figure out a day and time to come on. Text me some ideas that you want to like spitball to talk about, and I'll tell you which ones we'll go an hour for.
Yeah, I'll talk with Nirvana because she's gonna be excited to see this and excited to see you in Daytona Beach, man. Like, if anyone's seeing this and you can get to Florida, if you're anywhere in Florida, Daytona Beach. What is it? October 5th, 6th, 7th?
That's right.
Oh man, we already got like a beachfront suite fully booked, man. We're gonna have a blast.
It's gonna be amazing, man. Matt, thank you for coming on, man.
My pleasure. Thank you, Micah.
Yep.